GIS is our official platform that we use is ArcGIS Pro, and it is difficult to work through. It's not intuitive. You'll get really frustrated with it, but I recommend persistence with it because it's such a powerful tool. So that's more of a long-term process for today. Fillmore had just asked if I could show you all a way to generate map products for a range of needs. So we'll go ahead and go through. We got 15 slides or so. Try to keep it 20 minutes. So in the world of fuels, we have needs for all kinds of map products, especially folks that are new into fuels. If you're asked to do be a part of NEPA, to do fuel specialist reports, probably starting to get asked to go to fire safe council meetings, community meetings. It's helpful to have some kind of products that you can speak to, where you're looking to develop projects or do burning or run contracts. Even when you're working with your FMO or the ranger, they're interested in risk. If you're doing a pile burn, broadcast burn like Art Lozano's doing up on the Tambark Fuel Break on the Angeles today. Fax reporting has needs for a spatial component. Certainly contractors will be looking for maps and burn plans. All of these things, it's you can be at a point of weakness without the ability to make general maps for all these things listed above, because you're reliant on a GIS person, either at the SO or on the district, to do these things for you, and they have their own full schedules, and maybe they're out on leave, or maybe you got a last minute request that you need to throw together a map for something. So it can be difficult to access mapping platforms. I've seen a lot of folks that use Google Earth, which is okay. It's got some limitations to it. And as we're putting together our burn plans, we do want to show pictures that show the target fuels inside the units, adjacent to the units, the goals and objectives, that could vary by fuel type. If you're doing multiple burns, for your prescription, tying some kind of spatial products that show your fire behavior, your hauling charts, that'll help you determine your organization, where your holding concerns could be, contingency planning. It's always helpful to have a range of maps, of course, and you all know these things. So yeah, we'll show you an option. Get this thing to move. Okay, so yeah, I sent this one, the ArcGIS Pro compatibility test. Did anyone take that, or any interest in going the full route with GIS Pro onto your laptop? And I can't see the chat in this view, so chime in if anyone ran it or had any luck, or if your computer is or is not capable. Be curious about that.
Mine couldn't figure out the detection app. Like, they did the step 1, step 2, and then the step 3 is to actually detect it, and it couldn't do it. It just,
Okay.
I don't think I have that app.
Okay, so I tried it a few weeks ago. I wonder if it's changed. I will after this, I'll try it again and see. I know that I went through that test, and it said that mine was good, and I've sent it to a few other people, and there's either was or was not. So okay, I understood it being like turnkey, but if it's changed, which is possible in the tech world, they change things all the time. So I will try that out, and I'll report back. I'll put different instructions or a different link in the chat. So thank you for identifying that. This is the geospatial training and awareness website. And I'm not sure if you can grab that, copy it, and paste. If not, I'll follow that up and put it in the chat afterwards. But again, I highly recommend the long route, the long tour, through ArcGIS Pro. It may take a more substantial computer strength and cost, but long term, if you're in a fuels position, all the fuels positions I've been in my life. They've always supported getting that computer and going the long route there. So for today, we're going to talk about some options that you could do, this afternoon, and get some products going right away. I would say, just been thinking about like what kind of things I like in a basic mapping platform. You want a range of base layers. You want aerial imagery. You want your topo maps. You may want street maps for transportation map to for folks that are coming on your unit, maybe from the forest next door, or from out of region. You want to be able to show them how to get up to Tanbark or wherever you're having them do the work. It would be good to access corporate data layers. So you're going to want to create shape files, burn units, contract units, that type of thing. You can either copy those from your GIS sources on your forest or district. I'll also show you how to draw those yourself. Would be good to be able to calculate acreage and distance, spotting distance, or you could even use this platform to digitize around a new fire that you had on your district, and you want to get a good idea of what that acreage is, and I'll show you how to do that. You're going to want to get these products out of the system to put them in your burn plans, to put them onto something you can print out, hand out, insert those screenshots into your NEPA specialist reports, and something that there's a lot of interest in, some kind of platform that could create geo-referenced maps. So say you're working up in the system, and you want to hit a button and send something that you can send out to everyone through email that they can pull up into a Venza. So that's a little bit more of a stretch, but for the top 5 or 6, I have been using IFTDIS for this stuff. Hey, so I'm up at McClellan in the break room and got kicked off the internet. So I'm going to turn off my camera and I'll pick that up again. So appreciate your patience. Sound okay this time around?
I can hear you.
All right. Okay. Thanks for your patience. All right. Where were we? Okay. Y'all will see.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
I was saying the last that we heard, that I heard was you use it a lot for IFTDIS, and then you froze.
Okay. All right. So we I'm going to show you all. We're actually going to go into IFTDIS. That is what I'm recommending for to access base layers and data sets and calculate acreage, and yeah, just generating some products. If you have not used IFTDIS, it's really designed for um, running fuel models and fire behavior calculations and quantitative wildfire risk assessments. But for the purpose of today, it really is a great workaround to give you some, if you have Google Earth or nothing, then it really is I'm finding it to be a really dynamic, well-rounded product that can get you in, get you started, get you off the ground with some map products. So if you have not been in IFTDIS before, then you don't need password. All you need to do is go log on to IFTDIS and hit the log on screen, and it'll bring you up to your POV card EOS login, and then we'll be operational. So that's the way to get in. Once you're into IFTDIS, you go. You've got a banner running across the top. IFTDIS in the corner, my home, cycle workspace. So a lot of these are more advanced, for running fire behavior calculations, but you can absolutely use it for your basic mapping product needs. I like it because down in the bottom here, you've got this 4 square, and this is a topo map. It's got street layer with topos. But if you're looking for something different, then you can turn, you go to this little 4 square button, and it gives you 24K maps. It gives you street maps, aerial image. So you can keep that same zoom in, zoom out. But it just gives you a lot of options for your base layers, which is an important, first step. Then this is a little bit more advanced, and we're not going to go too in depth. But if you're new to IFTDIS, just know that this is the same extent zoomed out, and these are the 40 fuel models. So you do a couple steps, and in that same zoom, you can have your TU5, your SH4, your grass and shrub, your pure grass, the timber litter, timber understory, the slash blowdown, all of the 40 fuel models that we're used to for using, in Behave, in our burn plans. You can turn that, you can request this through IFTDIS and generate a map. So, you're just toggling on and off these different base layers. And then, hopefully you're just thinking about the possibilities, the stories that you can tell, the products you can make, for your burn plans, for your specialist reports. Yeah, IFTDIS it's really a worthwhile product for a range of uses. So IFTDIS does have, again, this is your bottom bar of tools. If you go over to the far left, this is a layer tool, and you pick up disturbance history. You can access all, I believe it's 20 years of wildfire perimeters. They're all loaded. It's broken down by year, by decade. You can change the colors on these things. So, it's more advanced than say Google Earth. And you can change the background. You can add these on top of your fuel models or aerial imagery or quads, or the whole suite, just by going through on the bottom and changing up your base layer. You can access everything that's ever been uploaded into FACS, all the contracts, all the burns, all the fuels work that's been done. You go down to this add layer button right here, this little green one, and it picks up, you can go through historic fuel treatments, again, the past 5 years, it looks like, and then it goes to by decade, 2010, 2019, and then 2000 and 2009. Say you've been asked to write a burn plan for one of these units that has been you've had a contract go through, mechanical work's been done, and you want to create a burn plan map product on that unit. So what you do is you've got your facts layers up. You pick up the year that the contract was done and entered into facts. Then you go down to this little button right here. It's the create or edit. And you have a few options. You can draw. These are your 3 buttons to draw. If it's a square, then this one is limited with editing. But the next 2, you could either freehand draw your unit, or you can copy and pick up this. You hit this copy button, and it gives you an option for either single or multi-layer. And you just grab it, you click on it, and it's going to give you the option to name it. So you enter in the name, you tell it where you save it, and then bam, you've got a shapefile that you can do a few things with. You can zoom into it. If you don't like the color of this shapefile, then you go into these 3 little dots right here, and you change up the symbology. You can make it fillable. You can make it just an outline. You can make that outline thick or thin. So all kinds of edit options within here. And again, we'll walk you through those steps. So you pull up your facts, then you go down to this button, this create and edit button, and it brings up this this table. You use this gray one to select. You select this one, it turns it yellow. You give it a name, you tell it where to go, hit create, and then you can turn off your facts data because you don't need that anymore. And then you go to your next screen, and you then it should show up in your layer list. You go through add layers, you pick up the one that you edited, then it shows up in your layer list, and then you can keep it as you'd like it. If it shows up with the default, this one's it's got a black line around it and green semi-transparent, but you can change all of that with the fill, with the outline, with the transparency, with this little slider. So I think it's pretty cool, that all of this is can be done within FTDIS, and you can clean up your, just by playing around, you can clean up your this little legend on the left. Once you've got your symbology, the design, then you can change your base layer and kind of fine tune this, and then you can use the screenshot and then put this directly into Word, arrange it with turn it to landscape, print it off in color, and you've got yourself a burn map. You can also zoom in or change the colors or whatever extent you'd like. Clip out the you can kind of tighten these things up and just make a smaller box, snip that, and then put it directly into your burn plan or your fuels report. So you might be thinking like, well, there are other products that are similar, the EGP, the RMA dashboard, but to me, this is where IFTDIS stands out, is that you can create this shapefile, you can edit it, and then you can go in to your primary folder, your workspace, and it gives you the option to download that shapefile that you copied. And you can, if you're the facts coordinator, then you've got your spatial layer that you can pull that zip file into facts for reporting once that contract is done, the burn plan is done. So pretty cool option, I think. It's all really easy to access and mess around in. What else do we have? So if you are fortunate enough to have the spatial layer of the burn plan, the burn unit that you're looking to make a map for, you go down to this button down on this bottom toolbar, this little orange one, and it's an upload a shapefile, and you just upload the shapefile, and then bam, it's pulls that in, and then you're back to edit with the little 3 dots. You can change the color just how it shows up, change the thickness, change the transparency and the fill within, just to match so that it pops and is easy to see for your community meeting, your fire safe council meeting, NEPA report, that kind of thing. All right, so yeah, you got now, we initially were looking for some kind of platform for accessing base layers, accessing data. And again, that data is where this one is, I think it's better option for, for making simplified burn map products as opposed to EGP or RMA dashboard, because you can actually go in, grab fax data, tweak it, change it, present it however you'd like to customize it for that exact need. Kim Ernstrom has been, she's in a long-term detail with Fire Lab. I get them confused. I think she's within Rocky Mountain Research Station. She essentially is the IFTDIS national lead, and she's been helping with the deliveries of the online workshops, and she's been open. We're kind of exploring some ways to grow IFTDIS so that it can be something that they're like to develop some type of tool within IFTDIS that you can just hit a button and create a georeferenced map for Invenza. So hopefully that's coming in the future. In the meantime, it doesn't take a lot of time investment, but it'll get you functional, maybe a step above Google Earth for for your basic mapping needs. Also working with her to explore ways to do a little bit better way to create a legend. It's you're kind of just doing a screenshot of the real basic ad layers. It's not what it was designed for, but it's a way to get your, it's important to show that legend on the map, for your briefings and that type of thing. So working to make that better so it looks more like a normal map. Hopefully that'll be out there in the future. If you're interested in IFTDIS, and if you've forgotten any of these sections, or interested in taking this further to start messing around with fire behavior modeling, go to iftdis.gov, and there's a great help desk. It has tutorials, webinars, it's got a forum, and each of these on the left, it's got just a lot of information specific, for the map studio or the modeling, or the Kendra last week, she covered FTEM, which is done within IFTDIS too. So Kim and her team, they just spent a ton of work into creating resources so that anyone can get up and running with IFTDIS. And yeah, we kind of found a workaround for mapping needs for today. So I'm going to stop sharing, and yeah, the Fillmore's intent was that these are short and sweet. We had some technical difficulties, but